Honestly, this is such a Joe move because even when he's doing something wrong, he's doing something right too. Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. In this one I'm going to be doing a review of episode 7 of season 1 of the Netflix original series You. With only 3 episodes remaining in the season, things are darker than ever before, and the previous episode didn't let us forget that. Just when Peach thought she was being stalked, she was nearly beaten to death with a rock in broad daylight by none other than her best friend's boyfriend Joe. But with her back turned to him, in the moments leading up to her near-death experience, she had no idea that it was him, only that she didn't feel safe in New York City, so she and Beck drove all the way to Connecticut to ease her mind. There, Peach spent the final days of her life shopping and drinking and fighting, Beck there with her through it all, except for when she was fatally shot to death by Joe, who secretly followed the girls and faked her suicide to avoid being accused of the crime by the police, or even worse, the girl he has an unhealthy obsession with, his reason for being a criminal in the first place. In episode 7, Everything Ship, Joe reveals to a therapist how this series of events brought them closer together, only for them to grow apart in the following months, not mentioning the part about him being a murderer, of course. Then the same therapist tells him to describe how well things were going between them at first, so Joe shares with him the story of how they bonded over their first kiss stories and board games, convincing him that they trust each other enough not to go through each other's phones, and enjoyed each other's company enough to even work at the same store when Beck got fired from her original job. I may not have been sitting in the same room with them at the time or even have wanted to help Joe out, but even I know that it's never a good idea to establish a professional relationship with a romantic partner or even a platonic partner when you knew each other beforehand. Everyone who's done it agrees that it can and will get messy. Just look at Fleetwood Mac, for example. Everyone who's done it agrees that it can and will get messy at some point. Just look at Fleetwood Mac, for example. Stevie and Lindsay can't seem to stop fighting, not even for the sake of their fellow band members, and they broke up decades ago. As a couple and co-workers at a bookstore, this happens rather quickly as they have a conversation about Peach that ends almost as quickly as it started when Beck reveals to Joe that she's been seeing a therapist to cope with the suddenness of her death. Instead of seeing this as a healthy coping mechanism though, he takes this as a threat, thinking she's sharing her deepest thoughts and feelings with someone who isn't him, meaning he isn't getting the undivided attention that he thought he was from her. So, to make her realize he's the one and only person she needs to be this intimate with, he devises a plan to make her upcoming birthday her best one yet, taking her friend's advice over hers as to what she really wants, something extravagant rather than small. On the night of her birthday though, everyone seems to have a smile on their face other than her, who arrives later than expected, and Joe, whose source of happiness seems to be her happiness. She never seemed to be the type of girl who would cheat compared to his ex-girlfriend Candace, but her reaction when all he wanted to do was something to lift her spirits justifies his suspicions, upsetting her to the point where she storms out of her own party. Not wanting things to end between them the way they did though, she shows up at his door in an attempt to move past it, only for his suspicions to rise. Every time they spend one-on-one time together, her phone is blown up with text she refuses to read in front of him, pushing him to the point where he feels the need to retrieve her broken phone and follow her through the city. After doing it so many times in the past, he thinks he won't get caught until the one time he finally is, and Beck is angrier than she was at her party. She ends their relationship right then and there, breaking Joe's heart, but for reasons other than I thought she would. Obviously, cheating is wrong, both Joe and I can agree on that, but stalking is too, and he has no remorse for doing it. Not in the city and not in therapy, because this therapist of his, Dr. Nikki, is the same one as Beck's, and he disguises their relationship as a straight couple as a gay one consisting of 2 men named Paul and Ronaldo, with completely different backgrounds than those of the real Joe and Beck, a story that actually makes him seem more stable than he is. He only makes that more apparent than he already has in the final 10 minutes of the episode when he breaks into the office just as Dr. Nikki is leaving, giving him access to the recordings of his private conversations with Beck. And in doing this, he discovers that in order to win her back, he'll have to give her the space that she needs to heal from the deaths of the people he killed, which he accepts and even shows that he truly does by breaking the phone he stole from her the night he saved her life before having one last conversation with her. Honestly, this is such a Joe move because even when he's doing something wrong, he's doing something right too. He even seems to be handling their breakup like any other normal human being would, feeling sad and nostalgic all at once. Honestly, I like seeing this because it proves that there doesn't need to be pure intensity in every moment of the show for it to be a good and realistic analyzation of people like him. I actually felt like I could sit back and relax instead of feeling like my heart was racing at 1,000,000 beats per minute. At least until the very end, because Joe seemed to find himself a new girlfriend, his neighbor, without being able to get his mind off of Beck. Well, I hope you all enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!